Boston University men's rowing site that I created. And here's some information on the homepage that you could check out. It has some videos you can watch and some upcoming events as well for the team, such as races. So if I click the roster, I could see everyone that's going to be on, or sorry, everyone that's on the team currently. So let's say, for example, I want to get some information about a rower. So I can click Derek Arhold and I can see his position, which is port. And this is a position that he prefers. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to row in that position in his 2K time, which is 6:04. But let's say he got a little bit faster and he did 2K and he went 6:03. So I can now update that information. Now, as you can see, it's updated. But let's say that I forget to input a field. And this is fluid for all the site. And if I don't input any field, I will get an error message. And this is for everything that I update in this site. So if I update this, I will get an error message saying that I need to update that information. So now if I go back to the roster, I want to add someone to the roster. And let's say he just joined the team. Let's say I'll add myself. Saeed Salah just decided to join the team. He's going to be a port, and his 2K time is 6:10, which is actually pretty fast. And then he's a spare because he hasn't been input into a boat yet because he hasn't been a part of the team for that long. So we add him to the roster, and now he's here. But let's say he decides he want to quit because it's too much work. So I can now scroll down to Saeed Salah and I could delete him off the team. Now I'm going to return home, and let's say I want to look at the boats now, for example. That we have varsity 1, varsity 2, varsity 3, varsity 4. If I click varsity 1, I can get all the people in the boat, their preferred position, like what they want to row, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to row that position, and then their 2K time that's associated to them. Now I can go to standings, and I can see a little bit of information about each race that happened. So for example, Head of the Trials already happened. So I'm going to go see other standings, something that I can update maybe. So Eastern Sprints. Eastern Sprints hasn't happened yet, but let's say it does happen. I want to input their information. Let's say the 1V, typically does well. So let's say they go 5th, and then they go 5, 35. And now let's say the 2V, who also typically does pretty well. They get 2nd, and let's say that they go 5:40. That's a pretty generic 2K time. And then the 3V usually gets first. They do very well, actually. And then the good 3V time for their event is 5:40. And then the 4V typically actually gets first as well. There's not many people in that event as well, which helps. And they usually go sub 6, so they typically go around that time. So as you can see, I updated the stands. You get that information. But if you forget, again, to put something in a field, you will get an error message. You have to make sure that you input all the fields. And now I can return home. And now the last function of my site is switching people. So let's say Derek Arhold currently is in the 3V. So he seat races someone in the 4V. So let's say he seat races Kendrick Robertson. And Kendrick Robertson wins that seat race. I could switch the rowers and it'll take me directly to that table. And I could see that Kendrick is now in the 3V and Derek is in the 4V. And that's pretty much all to my site. Thank you for listening.